ALP System Overview. The Automated Lease Purchase System, ALP, is a unique approach we'll explore today. You might have heard the phrase, "the devil is in the details." While many essential truths can be lost and hidden in the details, people or investors can also be overwhelmed by too much initial information. This training aims to provide you with a brief overview of the ALP system. Consider the analogy. Suppose 3 people would like to drive to Las Vegas. One lives in Boston, the other in Seattle, and the third in San Diego. Each of them would follow various routes, but they all end up in Las Vegas. Real estate investing is very similar. Each investor's primary objective is long-term sustainable wealth and cash flow. Every investor follows different paths, but they all want the same results. In particular, the ALP system provides a short and safe route to your destination. There are 4 main phases of the ALP system: plan, find, buy, and serve. The planning stage is like a roadmap. It gives you the guidelines and the system to reach your target goals. To plan well in this phase, we need to understand a few things. The number 1 thing is to identify the existing resources. Identifying and utilizing hidden assets is crucial in real estate investing to understand your strengths and weaknesses. What resources do you possess? What firepower do you possess, if any? We might have underutilized assets that were sleeping or underutilized, which might have resulted in a lot of lost opportunities. Those hidden assets might surprise you. No matter what your circumstances, everyone has them. Sadly, few people ever realize their potential. These underspent or sleeping assets may suffice for some people to create a stable retirement in a few years. It's always good to start with the end in mind. So we are going to create a 5-year game plan. The idea is very simple. If you don't know where you're going, how will you get there? The next step is to develop a 5-year game plan that maximizes your tangible property assets by identifying and utilizing the hidden assets that you might possess. The aim is to transfer the unsuccessful resources into highly productive areas. A typical and highly achievable plan leads a normal investor into buying 20 properties and making about $2 million in 5 years, which is pretty typical. As the situation, abilities, and wishes of every investor may be different, we will develop individual plans for each of you. This is not a fast-growing plan, nor is it a dream. That's true. Substantial commitment and attention are needed. Only through personal responsibility are such advantages achieved. When investors cannot remain disciplined for 5 years or more, it can considerably hinder the health system. Identify all resources and assets, especially hidden ones, and then create a clear and detailed 5-year game plan. Stay disciplined throughout the system, especially in the early years, and reinvest your profits into your business. The next step is to find. How do we find the properties that will turn us or give us at least $50,000 profit per real estate deal? We will discuss this in detail in the coming chapters. We recommend that our investors buy only single-family homes with 3 or more bedrooms and at least 15% walk-in equity determined by the health system. Yes, we will prove it, and we prove it every day, and this is possible. In contrast, we find these properties using the health system on the MLS system, using the MLS database. If the system is used correctly, the finding process saves you tons of time and effort. It leads you in the right direction, gives you a lot of time and frustration, and looking for the perfect deals. Leveraging other people's resources, OPR, leveraging other people's time, OPT, and leveraging other people's money, OPM. Leveraging is an art and science. As a real estate investor, you will have to master this art. You will be trained to use OPR, OPM, and OPT. For example, if you use realtors to help you find the properties that you need and you train them to look exactly the way you want those properties to look, you can save a lot of time. You can spend your time training more and more agents so that you can build up a team of agents who are regularly supplying you with exactly the deals that you want daily. This way, you're using their resources, you're using their time without having to pay them for that. Of course, the seller pays them the commission, so you are not paying it out of your pocket. You're using their services free of charge. So if you are a realtor, yes, you can save those commissions or make those commissions yourself, but it is not necessary. To succeed in real estate, you don't have to be a real estate agent. Our criteria for home purchases are stringent. We only buy single-family homes. We seldom buy condos, duplexes, or multiplexes unless they present an excellent deal. Secondly, we only invest in houses priced below or at the median price levels in any particular area. When purchasing above the median prices, the risk of losing equity out of market volatility and not reselling increases drastically. However, in any market, the L system works. We are far less affected by the markets because we are only buying the most wanted houses, the entry-level to median price houses. And there's always a market for our houses, no matter how bad the market is. Indeed, ugly but habitable houses often produce enormous cash flows. However, they need to be well enough to find tenants and buyers. We don't believe in fixer-uppers because we don't want to waste time and energy. Speed is the game's name because we use the most popular database, the MLS system, to find potential properties. Our finding system requires speed. We're usually ahead of the competition on our properties, which is a rare event in the highly competitive short selling or foreclosure market. Before we begin to seek the properties, a buying plan is put in place, including a pre-qualified mortgage broker or bank, and then we'll get the best deals before anybody else with our tailored search system. We qualify and act on our findings as soon as possible to get those deals under contract. Negotiation is also an essential aspect of speed. Normally, it takes days and weeks for the traditional negotiations. We strike deals the same day or before the other offers can come. Our system eliminates the back and forth and seals the deal. We train you to become top-notch experts in your area. We achieve a high success rate in 3 ways. Number 1 is our readiness to buy houses in advance. Number 2 being the first to submit the offers and sign contracts. Number 3 is being able to close deals efficiently. Great deals are here today and they will be here tomorrow, so we must be ready to act immediately. Recap: simply put, we win because we work incredibly quickly. The key to finding and securing the best transactions is to be ready to buy before they begin to look. Avoid investor competition by remaining away from the common areas such as short sales, foreclosures, and power of sales, and instead searching them on MLS alone. Take advantage of OPR, other people's time, OPM, and other people's money. Buying single-family homes at or below the median price houses guarantees immunity from the market's ups and downs. Only buy livable houses which do not require bigger payers before selling. The buying and purchasing of the houses is the most crucial stage. It allows you to buy the houses, giving you over 50K profit per deal. We will discuss this process in detail in the coming trainings. Many real estate investors fail simply because they cannot buy the properties they want. Simply, they cannot qualify for mortgages. Our complicated financing format considers different banks and ratios and combines them with our real estate system. Three main factors determine the success during this phase. Number one is choosing the right agent. Number two, having the right credit choices. The third one is debt-to-income ratios. If you cannot secure traditional financing for credit reasons, the ALP system has created choices to tackle this issue. Our investors can buy several homes because we know the credit and financing secrets, because the number of loans you have on you and how fast you have purchased them, which banks you have used, and how your file was presented, and how you are dealing with the property. The banks decide whether or not to fund your investment properties, naming just some of the criteria here. We have learned how to maximize your ability to make the greatest possible investments. Our formula for leveraging multiple homes on your credit requires us to use banks in specific combinations for each other bank to follow your next purchase of assets. As we look into the future for 5 years, so that we can protect your future ability to buy more homes. As investors, we have to work with our power team, which includes good, experienced mortgage brokers who know how to finance multiple properties on one's credit. To maximize the investor's portfolio, so must be strategic in what loans we choose. For example, if we choose to pay off a house fast in the shortest period of time, our monthly payment is going to be higher, which is going to affect our ability to qualify for more mortgages. So we will train you exactly how to choose the types of mortgages and loans, allowing you the flexibility to buy the maximum properties possible. Since the aim is to finance as many houses as possible, and every additional property might be a little bit higher rate, so far it's profitable. The payment to a particular bank with a higher interest rate might enable you to buy twice as many properties as possible with the lowest bank rates. As a real estate investor, you have to understand some technical financing terms. This will make your life easy. For example, debt-to-income ratio. Lenders look at your debt-to-income ratios to make sure that you can afford those debts. So, we try to optimize your debt-to-income ratio using the ALP funding system. Your debt-to-income ratios play a significant factor in determining your credit process success. The higher your debt is, the less likely you are to receive the loans or the mortgage. With our proprietary hybrid ALP system, you can raise the rent between $300,000 to $1,000 per month. Then, if you are renting the property, this compensates for the additional debt that you're taking on and increases your ability to buy more investment property. This is different than renting, where with each transaction your ratios worsen and it kills your ability to buy more homes and grow your portfolio. There are two other ways of financing in case you cannot get traditional financing. This is called sandwich financing and partnering. Sandwich financing. Financing is secured from the seller, and then in return you sell it to the end purchaser using the ALP system, and you make a profit in between. In partnership, you identify the partners who can be approved for traditional financing and then create an arrangement that benefits you all. Properties can be found and placed under contract. For example, if your partner can finance the loans or mortgages, then you split the revenues. As you succeed, you will see that you can find partners in your inner circle. Your siblings, your colleagues, your bosses, and your friends will be happy to become your partners because they know and understand how you do the deals. Meanwhile, it would help if you did all you could to enhance your capability to get the traditional financing. Creative financing options. If traditional financing is not possible, You can use creative financing options to start with while you improve your ability to secure conventional loans or mortgages. The ALP system is robust and highly profitable because it includes the best lease option practices but eliminates defects. It elevates the investor's time and effort required to maintain the rents and get higher rents and profits. It generates a higher rate of return than both rental and flipping, and it provides the tenant with substantial savings and equity. Be conscious of the profit instead of the rate. Go to the banks that will help you buy the most properties, not the best priced rates. Use specific loan schemes to maximize your credit on the number of homes. Use the ALP system financing to optimize the debt-to-income ratios. Serve with ALP financing. Your goal is to help others succeed with you. The goal is to help the buyers succeed. Purchase your properties to help your tenant buyers become property buyers with ALP financing. ALP financing ensures that the tenant buyer will have a sufficient down payment and qualify for a mortgage, thus netting you a good profit and a headache-free transaction. The ALP system comes with lease option benefits but without defects. Although everyone wants to own a home, not rent one, many don't qualify for traditional funding. The rental option allows the renters to buy a house within the specified period and in case of fulfillment of certain conditions. Renters like the rental option because it gives them the interest to apply and gives them the option to become the homeowners. Investors like the lease options because the lease option allows them to collect the down payment with an opportunity to receive higher down payment and higher rents, which otherwise is not possible in a rental situation. It provides a win-win situation for both parties. Don't be greedy. Unfortunately, many greedy investors have let unqualified home buyers get into lease-to-own or rent-to-own options, knowing clearly that they will not qualify to purchase the house. They won't have sufficient down payment, they won't have sufficient credit and other criteria to qualify for the mortgage. Thus, they then forfeit the down payment deposits and credits, leaving the poor tenant buyers in an even worse situation than before they started this program. Service to individuals, communities, and society is critical to any sustainable investment strategy. The ALP system is specifically designed to ensure that only qualified buyers get into the system, that only qualified buyers are brought into the system. The ALP system ensures that they will have enough down payment saved and their credit score will be improved to ensure they will 100% qualify for the mortgage when purchasing the property. The ALP objectives. The final objective of the ALP financing system is to help more and more people become homeowners, reduce their risks, and establish a more equitable and reasonable understanding and arrangement between their investors and tenant buyers. This is introduced through the revolutionary elements in our contracts. This approach helps every tenant buyer succeed in purchasing the properties, thus leaving our investors with good profits and leaving the tenants with some equity and home ownership. And of course, this approach makes our investors more money than they would have made in any other real estate investment strategy. The ALP system creates a win-win-win scenario where you win, the investor wins, the tenant wins, and the community wins, leaving much higher profit potential for all parties than the rentals. When a house is sold, you save the realtor fees because you don't have to pay the realtor fees and no maintenance of the properties as opposed to rentals. The contract stipulates that the tenant is responsible for repairs and you don't have to do repairs. It allows the tenants to improve the property and keeps a very harmonious environment between the landlord and the tenant. The tenant thinks he controls the properties and is the property's future, allowing tenants to renovate and create a home environment that renters have difficulty attaining. The tenants have time and strength to strengthen their loans and credit bureaus and build up equity. The system will serve your tenants better and make you more profits in the long run. The ALP system financing brings significant benefits both to tenants and you as an investor. The more properties you purchase, the more you can buy. Over time, one house can easily lead to many. When you buy a house at a discount and make a good profit, you can use these profits to buy the next property and the next. It creates an endless chain of partnerships and makes the time and effort possible with the formation of a power team. The ALP system is much more detailed than I have discussed in this short training. We will be going into details in the practice in the coming weeks. Simply put, this enables you to find the best deals while spending the minimum time and effort, reduces your risk to a much higher level than most other investing systems. It works in all markets, generates the maximum returns and completes comparisons.